Hey, Kris, just a couple for you. First off, any lineup changes for tonight?
We might have one lineup change, but we won't know until after warm-up.
I also want to ask you about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And this is a guy that's been here from the beginning. There's some lean years, and now just he provides so much for your team. Leon Draisaitl said he's probably your favorite player. I just want to get a thought on everything he brings to this organization and what he means to this organization because he's been here from the very beginning.
Well, first of all, I've always got a favorite player, but it just depends on the day. It changes. Ryan brings a lot to our team, whether it's a 5-on-5, transporting the puck, making plays, scoring some key goals. He's a big part of the power play. He's not the driver, obviously. Bush, McDavid, Draisaitl get a lot of the attention on the power play, but he's a great facilitator. He does a lot of good things to help that power play work. And then the penalty kill, through the playoffs, penalty kill's been going pretty well, and Nuge is always the first one over the boards. He's a big part of that. So there's a lot of things that I like, and yeah, there are days that Ryan is my favorite, but some days it changes. But Ryan brings a lot of good things to our team.
Far left, Greg.
Hey, Kris, over here. On your left, thanks. Hey. Matthias just mentioned that he felt the team played 52 minutes of really good hockey in Game 4, which by my math means there were 8 minutes that weren't very good. And I was curious, from your perspective, how much do you stress about those 8 minutes, or is it in the playoffs just something you assume there's going to be 8 bad minutes and then you take the 52 every time?
Well, we're always pushing for 60. We always want a full game, and but the other team obviously has a lot to say about that. They're going to have their times. They're going to be the better team for short periods of time. Hopefully it's very short. We can't be perfect every time. As much as coaches want to control everything and eliminate every single mistake, that's unrealistic. It's the game. It happens. And, we don't want to be down 2-0 to start like we were in the last game. That makes it very difficult to overcome that deficit, especially against a team like Dallas. And, I think it's very important that we have as much of a 60 game as possible. It's not going to happen, but also having a better start than we did last game.
Second row right, Mark.
Kris, most people would have assumed that Corey Perry at this stage of his career is a bottom six right winger. You bring him in your lineup, you play him with a very speedy left winger in McLeod and one of your very top centermen in Draisaitl. Why did you think that he should be elevated, and why does he work with Draisaitl?
Well, I think all our players have something to give. There's something in their toolbox they've got strengths and weaknesses. Every single player has that. Corey's has some strengths. He can score around the net. He can get the puck to Leon, because Leon's very dangerous off the rush. You want guys that can make those passes and get it into their hands, so Leon and Connor and those kind of players can do their things. Corey doesn't have quite as much speed as some of our other guys on our team, but we kind of make up for that with McLeod, getting him on the forecheck. And I think you look at our lineup, and maybe he's elevated to our second line, but it's pretty balanced with a lot of our players from the second to fourth line. Most of those forwards, their line, their minutes are very equal. There's not much disparity between them. So, yeah, he's on the second line, and he's playing with Leon, but a lot of the other guys are maybe on the fourth line, but we're relying on them in very key situations too.
Fourth row right, Tony.
Good afternoon, Kris. All this talk about your favorite player, we know Bob Stauffer's your favorite broadcaster, right? Hey, Bob?
Depends on the day.
Just want to ask you about Game 5, because last round you guys were in the exact same situation. It was a best of 3, and you had to start it in the visitors' rink. We know how that game went. What were some of the lessons from that game that you can extract and hope to correct here tonight?
Just playing good hockey and not sitting back and not being afraid to make a mistake. I think if you're afraid to make a mistake, you end up making mistakes. You end up playing safe, and when you're playing safe all the time, you just end up defending. And we just want to continue making plays, and hopefully they're the right decisions. But sitting back is usually not a defensive mode. I guess it is a defensive mode, but it's mostly a mentality of when you have the puck. And I think it's really important that you're still making the passes that need to be made and not just throwing it off the glass out to the neutral zone because it's just coming back into our zone again.
Center left, Mark.
In a similar vein, the stakes just keep getting higher and higher with every game. How do you balance that urgency, wanting the players to feed off of it, but not allow them to get kind of crushed by the weight of it? And are you on the lookout for guys during a game who are maybe feeling it a little too much?
I think as the stakes get higher and higher, whether it's the first game of playoffs up into the second round, third, and I'm sure the next round's even higher. But I think there's enough pressure on the players as it is right now, and mostly it's about just creating some confidence and just assuring that things are going to be okay, and we just have to go out there and play our game. So I don't think it's a time to put more pressure on players to step up and play better because they know that they want to perform, and hopefully we can feed off each other and help each other out, especially line mates, deep pairs can talk and just work out the game.
Third row right, Daniel.
Kris, can you explain your rationale and why you decided to move Brett Kulak to the right side, and furthermore explain his value to this Oilers team?
Brett's been playing really well. Through the playoffs, I think he's probably one of the most unappreciated players on our team. And that's not through the playoffs, that's through the regular season. He's brought a lot to our team, filling in as a penalty killer when we've had somebody in the box. And, he's been out for the last minute of games with a 1-goal lead several times. So, I think there's a guy that's been playing very well. And, if we had to make a change, somebody had to move to their offside. And, with his mobility, his puck play, he's able to do it much easier than maybe some other guys. So, we felt very confident in him.